Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast. How are we going to follow up from last week?
What's up, bitches? Last week was cool.
Fuck yeah, it was.
I mean, seeing videos of our ugly fucking mugs, that's one thing, but it was just something different. It changes the flow. It kind of gets you revamped because we got Derby coming up.
Very much so.
And I've got a 2-pound roll of Hard Nosed Derby Podcast was here stickers. I didn't want to cut them. I don't know if it's one continuous roll. I didn't want to check it. It's not one continuous roll, she says.
The last time I got these.
Mm-hmm. At South Dakota.
Mm-hmm. He handed those to a drunk Steven. In sheets.
Oh.
So me being me, I don't have anything to cut them with. I go back to the hotel, and I'm like, hey, at the front desk, I'm like, do you have any scissors? They're like, yeah. What's up? And I take these sheets of these over there. They're like, oh, we've got something way cooler than that. And they went in the back and pulled out this straight up paper cutter.
Oh, yeah.
So there I was, hammered drunk.
Surprised you didn't lose a fucking digit. Or the near pecker or something like that.
They were like, can we have some of those? I was like, fucking make it rain.
But while we're on Broadhead decals, thank you again, Justin, for sending that stuff and some kick-ass hat pins with Broadhead decal emblems on them. I don't wear much of a hat.
I'm going to put them in my ears.
Hold on, let's take it off.
I already checked it out.
Will they fit?
Yeah.
Mine closed up. I don't have any holes in my ears.
Yeah, I can slide that bitch right in there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pretty sure that's what I pierced one of them with.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, Saturday. Derby.
This Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Saturday.
Wicked Warzone, Sturgis, Kentucky. Sold out as usual.
I didn't see that coming.
For the tickets. I have never not seen that thing sell out.
Good problem to have.
It is. It's very, if you've never been to Sturgis, Kentucky, it is very similar to
Hot Springs?
Hot Springs,
mm-hmm.
Yes. God damn, I keep wanting to say Razorback. And it's not the Razorback anymore. It's Hot Springs.
Mm-hmm.
But it's 3/4 of it is enclosed. One end is closed. One end is open with a kind of a tunnel coming in there. Killer. It's a killer show. It's a killer venue. There is no parking inside. So we have just been so lucky. Anytime we've ever went, it hasn't been stupid fucking cold.
Well, it looks like they're going to get lucky again. Knock on wood.
Yes. They've got some 80s and up co-pilot, which for us that's the 2-man extreme.
Right.
They've got some 80s and up bone stock. They've got any year bone stock. They've got your compacts, I said.
Yeah, thanks.
The Wicked Weld class. I think they have 2-man show, but I can't find anything listed, so I'm not going to go into that. You're going to see some familiar faces if you're from this area, like on the Weld class, of course.
I'm pretty sure
Mr. Butch, X2C,
yeah.
Don Santel. A guy that usually runs around with Mr. Dylan Simonton. I think they were teammates, not in 23, but I think they were in 22. Mr. Cody Klumpke. There's a lot of guys on here that even the amount of people that we know, they don't jump out at us. Shane Jones, which when we had CJ on a while back, Shane is no joke. He knows he knows what's going on. The compacts, I see a Velasquez on there. Like I said, nothing else really jumps out to us. Any year bone stock, Mr. Billy Penwell, he's on that list. Mr. Trevor Jones is on that list. 80s and up bone stock. That's a little bit different. That's a little bit different look. You know, you got Mike Sorensen on there. Dylan Simonson, Mr. Luke Schaffner.
There's a lot of people that like that 80s and newer class.
That, what was it, a handful of years ago, there were some people trying it around here. Mm-hmm. Didn't really go just because...
Too many old school drivers.
Yes, too many old school guys.
And because we've still got guys around here that'll junk out an Impala, a 76 Impala, in the stock class. They don't give a fuck.
Don't give two shits.
That's what they've always drove. That's what they're going to continue to drive.
Without a doubt. And you can go, guys, if you don't want to make that stretch to Sturgis, Kentucky. From us, it's about 5.5 hours. It's not a horrible drive. Cool little town. Very good fairgrounds. I mean,
yeah.
It's Union County Fairgrounds. It's very roomy.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. And they're going to have a shit pile of vendors.
There usually is, though.
Yes. A shit pile. But if you don't want to take that trip, because our weather here has been so fucking phenomenal. I mean, it's just so awesome.
Yeah.
That MODOK trucks and shit are on their sides and semis are on their roofs, and it just kind of, I don't think they've got what we did. But you can go right on derbytees.tv, rent that shit. I think it's roughly around that $24, $25 range, and they'll get you, you'll get all of the camera angles. All of them. Well,
that's what I like about that place. You can really see the track.
Well, there's a list for the vendors. I mean, if
Chambliss going to be there?
Yes, Chambliss will be there.
In the vendor hall?
I don't think they have a vendor hall. Ski, Cannonball, Brian's Machine Shop, Norwood Fab, Pedkey Built.
There's a whole shitload of them.
Yes, and one thing that I want to hit on, guys, is this is the first Unified Point Series show. Mm-hmm. While we're going to be watching that, something else jumped off a little bit this week that was announced.
Southern Number 9.
That's right. Southern Number 9 Tour is now on board with Mark Elliott and the Unified Point Series. Your best, I think that's how Mark does it, your best 7 shows. Mm-hmm. The rest of them are kind of kicked out. But among that, Southern Number 9 schedule has been released of some sort.
Briggsville's on the books.
That's right, April 27th. Then the June 8th will be the Pleasant Hill Fair Derby. Mm-hmm. And then the big one. The big one is September again.
They didn't put a date on that, though, have they?
Yes.
Did they?
Yes, sir. Hold on just a quick minute.
September 21st. Terry Larley Memorial Derby and Cornhole Tournament will be September 21st back in good old P Hill, Illinois.
P Hill, big dog. P Hill. There has been, we kind of hit on a little bit ago, there were some very happy people and builders and drivers, and some unhappy builders and drivers.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Anytime that you make a rule change that's got any drasticness to it.
So you're telling me you can't make everybody happy?
No.
Oh.
You can make some of them happy and piss the other 50% off, or, 80-20. But, just like Taylor was saying when we had Taylor Feldkamp on, you can't make everybody happy. And we've said that. It's just not humanly possible.
Well, I can tell you right now, I don't want to.
Nope. No, I do not. That's why I said fuck promoting.
Me too, again, some more.
Again, some more. But there's big shit. And this will air January 25th.
Mm-hmm.
First big show of the year, January 27th. And that's just January.
Oh, yeah. We've got a lot to talk about this year. We shouldn't lack for material.
No. No.
Because every show's a big show now. If you look on Facebook, now that everybody's seen this, everything's a big show. Everybody wants to have a big show. Everybody wants to be part of something national. We've seen it. You're going to see it again. It'll run its course. There's not room for everybody. We've talked about this when it comes to promoters. This year, we're going to get to see whether people have bit off more than they can chew. And I'm not talking locally. I'm talking all these events that are doing, that are trying to pull their event to the main stage.
Another show that had already been announced is Chad Markley's
Yes.
show in Bowling Green. He's doing a 2-man stock team show. An absurd payout.
Fucking crazy.
I think $48,000 for one class.
One class. With 40 cars.
Yes, 20 teams. Holy shit. 2 days.
That's what I'm saying. And it's nothing against him, dude. I hope that shit works great. I hope that all the shows work great, but we know that it doesn't work like that.
Correct.
There is such thing as too much. We're going to find out where it's at this year.
Oh, yeah. Top-notch promotions.
Record number of big shows this year.
I will agree with that. I'll agree with that.
Some shit closer than others to other shows where they've added these new ones in. I'm just telling you that, to me, that is a recipe for disaster. And I'm not saying it won't work. That's not because there's going to be people that are like, oh, he's saying that shit. No, I'm not saying that. But that's how you step on somebody's dick. That's how you get spitefulness out there.
Yeah.
Communication is key, boys. As of right now, Mark Elliott's got the best thing going on that I've seen, getting everything unified. The more you do that, the better scheduling is, the better everything is.
And that's the thing with Mark and the Unified Point Series is it's not a unified class.
Nope.
They're all run their separate rules.
Uh-huh.
But you're going for
unified schedule.
Yes.
Like that's the start, in my opinion.
And a really good payout.
Uh-huh.
4 said points with a fat championship ring.
Yeah.
Miss Melanie Reed got one. Cam Penwell got one. Don Santel got one. I mean, that's just 3 of, I believe, of the 7 classes that was on there.
Yeah, I'm just telling, like, this is where it all starts. We keep preaching that. This is where it all starts. And the youth thing blowing up. Everybody's sending youth drivers. I love it. I fucking love it.
Yes.
But if we end up with 3,000 youth drivers at one show, we're going to have a fucking issue.
Well, I don't think that is... I don't think we're going to have to worry about that.
I was being facetious.
I mean, but there very well could be 100.
Oh, yes, 100%.
Making it through, and all these promoters that have jumped on board with the Frankie Guy Youth Nationals.
Because I'm telling you, if I would have continued with my show, we were going to send 3. Well, that was 3 coming out of some dumb fuck show in Missouri.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming out of Iowa, Illinois. I mean, I'm not even going to go into where the fuck they're coming out of, but it's a lot. A lot.
And I love it, but I'm just saying there is an issue if there's 3,000 of them.
But now, what Frankie did, him and Jeffy's Fab Farm, Casey Smith and all those guys, they added the compacts as well.
Uh-huh.
Not every kid is comfortable in a big car, but not every kid would be comfortable in a little car.
Right.
Some of them run both. I mean,
And as said kids' parents, I would be worried about, them being in a little car too. Just because I would question sexuality. You didn't think I was going to leave it at that, did you?
I knew some shit was going to come up. I really did. I was just kind of waiting on it. I was like, which way is he going to go with this? But you've seen CJ Klein.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him in both. I've seen big car, small car. Cam Penwell, big car, small car.
Yes, and we've seen adults do it. Jump back and forth.
PJ.
I just like giving people shit, but yeah, no, you're 100%, and that really broadens the range on who can be there now.
It very well does. So I don't know how many drivers they're shooting for. I know I did talk to Frankie about a week or so ago on the phone, and he actually wasn't for sure yet, I don't think, of what he's expecting. But it's badass what them guys are doing. And
well, since we're talking about this qualifier deal,
yeah,
I got somebody that we're going to talk to from up north.
People have been wanting us to kind of broaden our horizons a little bit.
We're going to
Minnesota and some Chaos Motorsports.
Yep.
So you want to get them on the phone?
Yep. Let's do that. We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Broadhead Decals. From door wraps and roof signs, window stickers and banners, let Broadhead Decals take care of all your vinyl needs with only quality products used.
Justin's graphic design abilities will get you everything you could ever want. With super fast shipping, their turnaround time is second to none. So let Broadhead Decals take you to the next level.
So we get them on the phone.
Yeah, so Chaos Motorsports.
That's right. Dylan and Callie and
Yep.
Minnesota.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey.
So you all got some big stuff going on here pretty quick. You want to kind of tell everybody what the first show of the year is going to be?
It's actually a 3-day event. I kind of always been tossing around the idea, adding in youth for a couple fair shows. Like, hey, why don't we just make a whole youth day of nothing but youth, and kind of all the derby dads and moms and fans alike can come together and make a whole day just dedicated to the youth. That will be June 1st in Morris, Minnesota. And then the day before, I have my second annual expo, which is basically the local drivers bring in their cars and kind of show fans like what goes into cars. 'Cause I think when some people start getting into builds and looking at how much money they got to spend, and they don't completely understand that there's a lot of stuff you can reuse. There's certain ways to make things last, and kind of get them face-to-face with drivers and get their faces on cars and see what really goes on in the derby community.
Well, dude, how? I mean, I pretty much ask this to every promoter that we talk to. What gave you guys the notion to want to start putting on derbies?
Well, honestly, it came down to the local promoter to Morris kind of made an announcement that he was retiring, and we all kind of knew about it throughout the year, and we're kind of questioning, like, well, what's going to happen, next year. And so I kind of just threw my hat in the middle and like, hey, if you need somebody to take care of these derbies and put them on, like, I'd love to. But they ended up going with somebody else, which was completely fine. And I worked alongside with the Reed Stein for the first year. And he kind of taught me some things, because I kind of put on one show in my hometown, a spring derby, and it was just kind of make it chain everything, like a hobo compacts, chain full size, just make it as simple as possible, because that's what drivers were demanding. Is builds are starting to get out of hand, and me being who I've been, at a mentor standpoint, I've been helping people, so they kind of repaid the favor and made a really successful first spring show. And after the first year of Reed putting on shows, he's like, you can have it. I don't want to do a driver. Perfect.
Sometimes it takes that person to say, I want to try it because I think I can make it work. And about halfway through that, they're going, fuck this.
Oh, yeah. I've had that feeling a few times.
It gets worse.
Drivers are used to one thing, and then it's like, well, I'm going to be pretty strict on, what I allow. Wow, so-and-so let me do this. And it's like, yeah, well.
This isn't so-and-so's fucking show.
Yeah, Derby is dying out this way. It's a very low population to begin with, and a lot of the Derby drivers, especially full-size, have moved on to do other things, and it's like, well, talking to these fair boards, a lot of them were on the brink of just getting rid of Derby and altogether. So I'm like, I'm going to put my heart and soul into trying to bring shows back, get the grandstands filled and back to how they used to be.
Well, I don't.
Because as a driver for the first 8 years of being in the Derby, it was a lot of fun, but I didn't like beating up on, 4 or 5 cars year after year for the 4 or 5 of the same guys. It's like, well, this isn't fun for me, and it's not fun for them either. There's a lot of good guys I went against over the years, and it's like, well, how about I just step back and put my all into this to try to get the numbers up.
Yeah.
What kind of car counts do you all have up that direction?
It's pretty far in between. The first show I had for fairs last year, I had, it was 14 cars, and that was almost triple the amount they had from the year before. And that was out of 4 classes.
Holy shit.
I was like, oof. Like, they were happy with it because it was better than the year before, and I was, my first year promoting, I'm like, well, I'm going to do everything for free. I'm going to promote for free. All the gas is covered by me, to all the volunteers that help me inspect and flag, like I'll cover whatever, just to kind of give it a year of build-up. And then it came down to, by the end of the year, we were doubling car counts from the year before. I think our best show was 60 cars. So it got to a point where it's like, all right, maybe I am made for this.
Well, and that's what it takes. Persistence in this sport and moving forward is the only way that stuff will work.
Because those car counts that he was just talking about, I'm telling you, a lot of people would have washed their hands with it. They would have been done. They would have bowed out.
Well, you know what the fuck I would have done if I had a 14-car show?
Puked and walked
off. Puked and shit.
Yep.
Simultaneously.
Well, like southern Minnesota, they have a very high population because you get a lot of Iowa guys, Wisconsin guys, and Minnesota guys down there. And they average 100 cars per show. And, them trying to compare me with, different promoters, it's like, well, you got to see what I have to work with. Yeah, it'd be nice to have 100 cars, but doing it for free like I was. This year I'm, charging. That way I can actually pay guys to help out. But
Well, and I
Yeah,
mean, you're doing it right. I mean, you're starting building these shows, and as long as you're getting the car counts and the pair boards and shit are happy, I mean, there's really nothing else except for self improvement at that point.
yep. Then it gives me, opportunity too, since it's kind of slow going, to kind of teach people how to test properly and flag and really
Well,
look into cars instead of trying to rush, 100 chain or limited weld cars through the line. That gets to be a lot.
well,
I've
and
gone to a
you,
lot of derbies and just sat there and watched tech line and just to learn. And I'm like, man, these guys are just sweating, busting balls, and it's kind of nice to have not so many, but at the same time, as a promoter, what I'd like to see is like, man, like I see the numbers increasing, but say like if I were to get 60 cars per show, that would be outstanding up this way.
Well,
We
that's
haven't
the
seen
point.
anything like that in 10 years.
That's the deal now. So when you started this, everything is progressing up. So you took it slow. You didn't get thrown into the wolf's den right off the rip.
well, that's what I was going to say. You just got your feet wet. You didn't
Yes.
have to jump in.
Right?
Fucking head first into a 3-foot kiddie pool with 14
yeah.
sharks.
Oh yeah, this past year though, it's definitely been a lot different. Well, I should say the last 5 months is just I had to change up rules just because I made a spreadsheet of all the promoters in Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. I made a spreadsheet of how many trunk pins or what kind of weld is allowed, just so I can get cars that's able to run chaos. But like I told the drivers at my drivers meetings, like, I don't mind if you guys don't run chaos on a weekend and you got something to do southern Minnesota or in North Dakota. I want it so it's convenient for you guys to run chaos and any other show and vice versa.
And that's worth its
I'm not
fucking weight
the,
right there.
Gatekeeper of rules, like you can only build to these rules, and now nobody's showing up to these other places, and so I'm just trying to keep it as widespread as I possibly can, but also make it easier on the drivers.
Well, I mean, that right there is all the ingredients for a good promoter. I mean, you've got your finger on the pulse of what's going on around you. And I mean, that's what it takes.
Because here, like what you're doing here in Missouri, that shit it's not frowned upon, but all the other promoters think it is because they won't work with the other promoters. You're sitting there and you're taking probably 5 or 6 different promoters' rules, and you're trying to blend their rules into yours. So if somebody does run your show, guess what? You ain't got one next weekend. They can take their ass over to North Dakota and finish their shit.
Yep, exactly. And that's the goal. Is like I said, I don't want to be a gatekeeper. Like, as soon as the Derby gets to in this area gets to a good point, I would be more than happy to just hand the keys to the Cadillac and tell one and get back into driving more. I just felt like they're at right at the same time I had to come in and just like, well, if someone that doesn't have the passion to put these shows on doesn't come in and turn things around, Derby just going to disappear over here anyways.
Yeah.
Well, and that's not the first time we've seen that shit happen.
Yeah.
I mean, we've watched people build a show up to an 80-car show, step away from it. Within 3 years, it's back down to 13 cars.
Right. And, things come in cycles, so I'm going to try making sure the cycles don't happen, like, say, mod full size. Like, there was a big thing 5 years ago around here, but it was the same, 10 guys. Well, they slowly just started going to, like, limited weld or just going back to straight chain, and then it kind of just filtered through, same with limited weld or limited weld trucks. And now the big craze is everyone's back to chain because everything just got so expensive. So,
Well, I mean, that's what, we try to go to, if we're not watching a big show, we're at a big show, or, at least watch it on pay-per-view. There's so many dudes from Minnesota that derby. There's no fucking way that I could ever zero them down to know who all they are, because there's just so many that run Border Wars, they run Blizzard Bash, they run Capital Carnage, they run the Gold Rush of South Dakota. It fucking just keeps going.
But we don't have any big shows around.
yeah, and that was kind of the big talk of who's got the best drivers. And it's like, well, I know I'm not one of the best drivers, but you know, the proof is in the pudding. Like Minnesota drivers are everywhere, and they do good. But at the same time, they're venturing out because there's really not like any national type shows here in Minnesota, which kind of blows my mind. It's like, well, we got all these, you know, national ranked drivers that are building for these rules, and there's a lot of them.
Well, it sounds like to me you're on the right track. I'd be making me a big show.
So it's like, maybe I should jump on that and, you know, make a big show here in Minnesota. But
build it and they will come.
Motor just not quite there yet. I'd like a year or two more of getting a hold of everything the right way.
Now, I'm going to ask, dude, what's up with your old TikTok page? Because that is some funny shit.
My TikTok page or the Chaos one?
The Chaos page is fucking hilarious.
Callie is kind of the one that does all that. I'm very simple. I just take a template and I just make my own things, and then she just goes ham for all the graphics, and you know, she's just really good at that. So I'm like, well, perfect. Yeah, here, you just run the account, and
I'm also hilarious.
Y'all can hear Callie Ann chiming in the back, so it helps when you're hilarious.
Common for her.
So we know we've got your 3-day event going on. What else do you have planned for the rest of the year?
I ended up taking over my hometown show, which has been a dream of mine for a very long time. I've been harassing that fair board since I was, 8 years ago. Like, hey, you should let somebody that knows derby cars be the one that inspects and promotes it, not some normal Joe Blow off the street that, I don't know, there's a lot of things that got away. But, you know, they ended up going with a promoter with experience when I got into it, a promoting scheme, and now, you know, they kind of sat me down. I explained to them, like, how much it would mean to the community in Glenwood. Like, you know, I'm well known around here as the one last local driver, so, like, me being the one that runs this show, like, it's going to mean a lot to drivers around and the fans that come in the stands. And I'm going to put, you know, 110% into that show just because it's a dying fair. Like, they don't even have rides anymore.
So what I pulled out of that is you want to be called a cocksucker in your hometown.
Yep, might as well get paid for it.
Now you're learning.
So you got that. So how many shows do you all have this summer?
Well, right now I think it's at 9.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck every bit of that.
There might be, you know, hopes for a fall show just to kind of... I have a lot of drivers that hit me up like, hey, you only ran this class twice last year. Like, I'd like to run more in your shows. So I kind of want to have a full show where I can get, you know, a few classes I didn't. The fair boards weren't able to.
Which, and I know that... And I know that you're well, like, you know what's going on around there, but I'm telling you, if you're wanting to have a fall show, almost a positive way to guarantee that show be successful is make it a cleanup show.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, because we did it every year, and we allowed 4 plates in each class. Fuck it. You can have them. That put our stock class at 10 plates. That put our street stock at 12, our compact, and I think they had 12 plates. So we let them go fucking ignorant, weld the fuck out of their cars. Shit that they were getting ready to pull apart, they were pulling down, throwing 4 more plates on, and they showed up. Hell, the first
make it public so everybody's on the same page. Like, yeah, I don't want any bitching that there's, you know, 4 extra plates on this car. Everyone's allowed the same amount. Like, let's just junk the shit and send it out to the scrapyard.
Yep.
100%. And see, that's what we did. The first like, and I put this in quotations, cleanup show we had 180 fucking cars show up. And at that point, they kept pulling in, and I was like, fuck. Fuck. Somebody go shut the fucking gate.
Yeah. Yep. Even with the low numbers I've tagged, like it was hard to get start on time, and that was the one downfall. A lot of the fair boards like you gotta. When you say start at 6, you gotta start at 6, not 6:05. I'm like, I know, but
Well, people get really pissed off when you're 2 hours late.
Over everything. Like, there is a time I want them to be here. You gotta understand when you're having a Thursday show at 6 o'clock and so is traveling 2 hours down the interstate, getting off work early or taking a shower or whatever. Like, there's got to be you gotta be a little bit better at this fair board of understanding. Like, these are still drivers that have normal lives outside of the track.
Oh yeah, and we learned another thing. Like, it didn't matter really when we started, but we had the audiences or the fans, the spectators' attention for 4 hours. That's what you had, and they were going to start leaving. And I don't know if it's that way up there, but you could almost put it on a straight up time.
You started at 7. That bitch better be over by 11. If not,
the motherfuckers were gone.
Yeah, they're happy with 3 hours up here. They're like, 3 hours, that's a good show. We're happy with that.
We finally got it down where we were blowing these shows out in about 2.5 hours, and everybody was fucking loving it.
Yep. It was way back when I was just in the grandstands watching it as a kid. I remember being past midnight just watching Viking Speedway, which is a big derby up this way. It would get 200 cars, and no one would bat an eye. Like, oh, that's pretty normal. And while people are sitting there watching, six heats of 20 chain full size, and then 2 consolations and a feature, and then all the other stuff in between. It's like, a lot of fair boards think that that's still a reality. It's like, it's not. Like, when Cash for Clunkers came through, and now everybody and their mother's a scrapper and just sending stuff to the scrapyard, like, it's getting hard to find cars and ones that are worthwhile to actually bring to the track.
Now, Dylan, I'm going to ask you, man. We are not that familiar of seeing the shows up in your area. Do these fair boards make you all run heats, or can you run one and dones, or what's kind of the common for you all?
There's a few times where we could have ran a heat or 2 heats, but the drivers themselves are like, well, just one and done. I want to leg a car. I want to put on one good run and then not have to fix shit.
That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. I am a huge fan of a one and done.
Well, no one brings trailers or tools or anything to run heats and fix cars really either. They just show up, they want to one and done, and that's it.
Well, and that was my deal. I'm not going to drag a whole fucking another car with me to go run for $1,000.
Right.
And on the promoter side of it, it gave me less of an opportunity to give you a fucked up call.
Right.
I mean, if you're not on the track 3 fucking times, I've got a lot better odds at not fucking you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are all about the one and dones around here. We understand there is those places for heats, but a fucking local county fair derby
is not the place.
Ain't it?
Yeah, I completely agree. That's why I like getting to these county fairs that make it a county fair kind of experience. Like the builds, the drivers, the classes. Like this isn't Blizzard Bash or Gold Rush. Like, this is where people start off at and then build their way up to that kind of stuff. So I feel like being as a promoter and also someone's got a soft spot for people, I just got to get them the opportunity to build off of, like, hey, this is your first run. Don't be discouraged if you get your shit rocked right away.
Yep.
Like, keep at it. Like, it's going to be fine. There's a lot of good drivers that just sit in the county fair kind of playing field. Just build yourself up.
Yeah, and we've talked about that a lot before around here. There was a lot of guys that didn't want to jump to that next. They didn't want to go to that next level, and that's fine too. You see it a lot. They don't want to go. They don't want to drag 5 hours to go run somewhere.
No.
But man, we appreciate your time. Is there anything you or the smartass sitting next to you would like to say before we jump off here?
All right.
The hilarious one.
I just want to thank you guys for taking time out of your day, both you, Derek and Steven, for being one of the few podcasts I listen to. I can probably attest to that to a few of my friends that I kind of, hey, you should listen to this podcast. These guys are 100% real, and they say shit that I've been feeling for years now. Like, yep, that's correct. That's how things should be.
Well, we will definitely catch up with you after your show. We've talked about it on here before. If it lands on, what weekend does that land on?
Border Wars.
Border Wars. I think he's going to go to Border Wars, and I think I'm going to come your all's direction.
Okay.
So we will definitely catch up.
Yeah, we got a few compacts laying around for you to use.
Gross.
That's a really good one.
That was a smart ass in the back.
I guarantee you. But yes, we appreciate it, and thank you for your time. And like I said, we will be in touch.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, bye.
All right, later.
Well, there's some of that
Another fucking local promoter that thinks how we do.
one and done, baby.
One and done. Fucking send them, junk them, load them.
Yes, go home.
Go to the house.
Go drink some beers.
The only, and I'm going to say this right now,
Oh, fuck, here we go.
I think you're going to agree with me here.
Oh, okay.
The weekend after Mother's Day is a 2-man team show.
Mm-hmm.
Real fucking close to us.
Yep.
That is the only thing that should be running heats
Ever.
all year long.
Yes.
If you're going to run a team show, that is the only fucking reason you should ever run heats. After that, man up, split the classes, be done with it.
I agree. I definitely fucking agree with that. Yeah, I didn't know where you were going with that, but no, I agree.
And I'm glad that there's so many more promoters jumping on this youth bandwagon.
Yes.
I know it's kind of like beating a dead horse, but it really is. It is so cool to see what these people are given the opportunity for these youth kids to go all the way out there. And I'm not going to sit here and say that every one of them are going to go.
Right.
Because it's a hell of a monetary nut kick to haul from North Dakota to fucking Pennsylvania. I understand that.
But on the flip side of that, I do really, really like what Chaos is doing with that. They're giving a whole fucking day.
The whole day.
To youth drivers.
That's the way it needs to be.
Yep. Prime time at prime time.
That's right. Well, kind of the reason why I even brought that little teen show up.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some guys busting my balls. You ain't hit on that team show list yet. You ain't hit on that team show list yet. So,
well, the fucking thing just come out.
It did.
Like, we haven't recorded since that come out.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before you even name that list off, I'm going to go ahead and say this for the people that aren't from around here.
Okay.
I would not want to be teching that fucking show.
No, hell no. Nope.
Nor officiating the motherfucker.
Nope. Or announcing it.
The announcing part, I would be okay with that.
No, fuck you.
As far as making the calls in that tech line with that group of drivers, fuck no, I would not want to tech that fucking show.
So,
if this fucking show, if they can get everybody through the tech line in 6 fucking hours, it'll be a goddamn miracle.
With this team?
With the fucking list of
20
drivers.
Teams. Because that's what it is. There's 20 teams. 22-man hot stock teams.
And I had a good fucking tech team.
Oh, yes. Yes. That's going to suck.
Oh, dude.
But let's
Because it's going to be a good fucking show.
It is. Let's throw it out here. The Hot Stock two-man teams, Greg Bax and Eric Nanny, Robbie Bax and Harold Schoen, Shelby Burton and Brandon Hill, Russell Shaw and Sheldon Shaw, Rangel Wayfield and Mark Mayfield, Jacob Green, Austin Friels, Kenneth Duff, Corey Luddington, Lane Austin, Tyler Gladback. He bought back in? Dylan Johnson, Dustin Kelsey, Brandon Courtney, and TBA.
To be announced.
Danny Hobbs and Tyler Verdon, Matt Chandler and Tyler Splain, Sidney Weir, Matt Gill, Austin Pfeiffer and Sean Pfeiffer, Grant Bowling and Austin Schaefer, Tyler Baker and Jeremy Baker, Lane Baker and Logan Baker, Austin Shanks, Dino Fisher, Gary Robinson and Pork Chop, and team number 20 is Jordan Wood and Dustin Schaefer. So, you've got some big names on this list that have ran more than just a local two-man team show.
Yep. And on the flip side of that, you've got some guys that run nothing but local stuff.
Correct.
I'm going. I'm going to go watch.
I am going to go watch. Yes, I am. That's kind of a mix. I would say you've got some locals from around here. You've got some guys that haven't been in the game for a minute. Tyler Baker and Jeremy Baker. I'm going to say it right now, Jeremy Baker is full of shit.
I kind of seen it coming.
Then you got G. Rob and Pork Chop.
Mm-hmm.
This will be a show to watch if, don't kick me in the nuts, if they can get through tech. I know who their head tech is. Mm-hmm. You know who their head tech is. Mm-hmm. That man can find some shit. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't have a problem with telling said person to cut some shit.
I wouldn't want to be taking that show.
I would not. No, sir.
We're not doing that, are we?
I'll hit it real quick.
Oh, fuck.
It's your favorite.
They've got Facebook. Everybody's got Facebook.
They've got 16 three-man compact teams. I think they were shooting for 18 or 20, maybe.
I don't know.
I think they have a couple openings still. So if you are a compact guy and you want to get in on this, just give them a shout. I think you can send some money over PayPal or Venmo or whatever and get your team signed up. But, there's a team that signed up that has been pretty recent, and I didn't see that until right now. Remember about a month ago or so, we were over in Pittsfield, Illinois, and somebody said they were going to start coming to run on the Missouri side. Mm-hmm. Well, son of a bitch.
I've seen that.
So I have an idea of what they're gonna do. Mm-hmm. Big D is coming back. Big D's back in the house with Dakota Lopez and Ronnie Pickens. Paul Arnell stepped up from the gut and go or the hobo side. He teamed up with Sean Lackey and Zach Kennard. Another team has been reunited a little bit. Cody Bedsworth, Brady Smith, and Tyler Pickens. It's real cool to see Greg Neal's name on here with Little John and Justin Bockham. You still got some solo boys in here. Doug Nichols, Jesse Overfelt, Tyler King. A whole team
Vosmers.
A whole team of fucking Vosmers. 2 whole teams of Vosmers, actually. Got some Handball boys, got some Osville boys.
Gay Pride has a team. I mean, I know for sure one of them.
Did you have to go there?
Josh Gordon. Mr. Rainbow Flag himself.
Josh Gordon, Gary Linhoff, and Sean West.
I think that's Team Pineapple Express.
Oh, there it is. There it is. I forgot about that. And I know they're going to run some single stuff.
Yep. I did see that.
Gettin goes. One and done. I think paying $1,000 to win. I think they don't have any hobos because they are going to be, stock cars. Because I think that's going to be in Higbee later in the year. But yeah, you said it. That tech line is going to
Josh
suck.
Gordon's guy? Because I said that.
But guys, this is,
Did you see? Oh, hold on. I got to bring this up real quick. The fucking profile picture for Showtime Official.
Yes, I saw that.
Not Blake.
That tells you how mint that bitch is.
Not Blake out there just fucking hand washing his derby car.
With mint paint.
You remember that car?
Yeah.
It was a bad bitch.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but guys, you have all the opportunities. There's so many opportunities for you to go run locals, entry level, or step the game up a little bit and try to hit these local bigger shows is
Right.
what I would say. And then there is that chance to go fuck around with the big boys. March 2nd, 3rd, there's some spots left on the street stocks. I saw that announced yesterday. Get with Candace. If you've got a fresh street stock that you can build, finish up, something like that, and you can get signed up to go around for, I think, 5 Gs.
Yeah, something like that.
5 Gs to win, 6 Gs to win, somewhere in there. So you have plenty of opportunity.
That was a good episode. Very informative.
Very informative.
For all you thirsty for knowledge folks out there.
That's right. And remember, guys, Hard Nose 24. Justin Broadhead decals, 10% off, discount code, listeners only.
About to be some more shit popping off in the next probably 2 weeks.
Yep.
We're going to hook y'all up with some fucking shirts and shit. Or at least the guy that can make them.
Because our little Printify shop sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks.
But we've got a couple new sponsors coming in.
Yep. So, hopefully we'll
Y'all are
have
taking it serious. Fuck, I guess we need to start.
Well, it's kind of hard to be serious. Somewhat serious.
If I've got to start being serious, I quit.
Knowledgeable serious, how's that?
Maybe.
With a big side of fucking beer drinking and fun.
I'm in.
Because I did get a message this week that some little asshole by the name of Clayton Ransom is sitting on the fucking beach at St. Croix Virgin Islands listening to Hard Nosed Derby podcast. So, appreciate it, little dude.
Wish we could have sent him some of these stickers.
We don't want him fucking going to jail on the Virgin Islands for no
Defacing public property.
Yeah, fuck that.
Ah, shit, it makes stuff worth more.
So, again, thank you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate the fuck out of you.
That's right. Got any last words?
Nope.
Make jump, boys.